There are a host of archaeological events that await. It will be completed during the year 2023, after it had started. During the past years, the Life Science website has mentioned a number of archaeological events that are expected during the current year, and here we mention them as follows. Access to the mummy of Nefertiti. For the first time in modern times, in 1817, the tomb KV-21, as Egyptologists call it, was found in the Valley of the Kings and contained two mummies according to the Theban Mapping Project, and at present, a team led by Zahi Hawass, the former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, by re-examining the cemetery and its mummies, by conducting DNA tests. Hawass told Live Science that the team is looking into the possibility that Nefertiti is one of the mummies. While it's uncertain whether scientists will find the remains of the ancient Egyptian queen, there's a good chance we'll hear more about this tomb and the mummies buried in it in 2023. On Saturday, the Egyptian government announced that it had made a major archaeological discovery, which is a royal tomb in the Western Valleys area on the western mainland, south of Luxor. And a statement by the Council of Ministers said, the joint Egyptian-English mission succeeded in discovering a royal tomb that was not known before, during the excavation work that the mission is conducting in Valley C in the Western Valleys area on the western mainland in Luxor. The Secretary-General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities in Egypt, Mustafa Waziri, said that the preliminary evidence that has been uncovered inside the cemetery so far indicates that it may date back to the period of the rule of the Tamamza, the era of the 18th dynasty. For his part, the Director General of Antiquities of Egypt, Al-Olaya, and the head of the mission from the Egyptian side, Fadi Yassin, said that the mission is continuing excavation work and archaeological documentation of the entire cemetery, which will contribute to revealing the architectural planning of the cemetery in a clearer way, as well as its technical elements. In the same context, Mohsen Kamal, director of the Western Valleys site, said, the discovered cemetery is in a poor state of preservation as a result of the torrential rains that occurred during ancient times, which flooded its chambers with thick deposits of sand and limestone, which led to the obliteration of many of its features and inscriptions. In turn, the head of the mission from the English side, Piers Latherland, said, the discovered cemetery may belong to one of the royal wives or princesses. During the period of the rule of the Hamash, a large number of which have not been revealed, until now. In the next few days, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities will announce a new archaeological discovery. In the Saqqara Antiquities area, which is a well. It contains many pottery vessels and coffins, and is in very good condition. The well was discovered by the Egyptian mission, and for this we review the latest archaeological discoveries, in the Saqqara area, through the following lines. On March 19, the excavation work of the Egyptian archaeological mission resulted. Operating in the area northwest of the King's Pyramid, Mer and Saqqara, on the discovery of 5 inscribed tombs from the Old Kingdom era. And the first transition, inside it many burials and archaeological finds. The first cemetery. Among the tombs discovered for a person called Eri who was one of the senior statesmen, and it consists of a well that leads to a burial chamber with carved walls, with many pictures of funerary scenes. Including scenes of the offering tables, the facade of the palace, and the 7 oil pots, and there is a huge limestone sarcophagus in it, in addition to engraved pieces belonging to the owner of the tomb, and the mission is now working to collect it. As for the second cemetery, it most likely belongs to the wife of a person called Yard, due to its proximity to his cemetery, and it consists of a rectangular well. The Great House, the chanting priest, and the purifier of the house, while the fourth cemetery is a rectangular well located at a depth of about 6 meters below the surface of the earth. For a lady called Betty who bore the titles decorated by the king. The only one and priestess of the deity Thoth. As for the fifth cemetery, it is for a person called Hanno, and it consists of a rectangular well. The shape is located at a depth of about 7 meters, and among his titles comes the supervisor of the royal palace and the only Samir, the hereditary prince and the mayor, the supervisor of the great house, and the bearer of the seals of Lower Egypt, and the supervisor of the orchard. It is worth noting that the Egyptian archaeological mission had announced during the past years on a number of important archaeological discoveries in the Saqqara Antiquities area, including the discovery of hundreds of colored human coffins. Inside it are mummies in good condition, from the preservation of senior statesmen and priests from the 26th family, which was chosen as one of the top 10 archaeological discoveries in the world for the year 2020, in addition to the discovery of 2 tombs, from the era of the 5th dynasty, of the purified priest Wadi and the supervisor of the royal palace Khoi, and a number of cat tombs.